Welcome to Chasing Curiosity TV. Subscribe and press the bell icon for more updates. The air over the Balabac Strait crackles with tension, as if the very clouds themselves are charged with anticipation. This narrow stretch of water, once known mostly to fishermen and sailors, has now become a focal point for military strategists and world leaders alike. On August 18, 2025, a date that will be remembered as a turning point in the region's history, the world's attention zeroed in on this remote corner of the Philippines. News headlines flash across screens: Philippines unveils strategic runway. The announcement is met with both celebration and concern, as analysts scramble to interpret what this means for the delicate balance of power in Southeast Asia. Almost immediately, another headline follows: Beijing condemns provocative military buildup. The Chinese government's response is swift and unequivocal, denouncing the move as a direct challenge to its interests in the region. But this is more than just an infrastructure project. It's a line drawn in the sand, a bold statement of intent by the Philippines. The construction of the runway was not merely about transportation or logistics, it was about sovereignty, security, and sending a message to the world. The new military-grade runway on Balabac Island has sent shockwaves across Southeast Asia. Fighter jets now roar overhead, their presence a constant reminder that the status quo is being challenged. Below, Coast Guard vessels slice through the turquoise waters, vigilant and ready, their patrols more frequent and their eyes sharper than ever before. Across the nation and indeed the world, people gather around screens, watching the unfolding events with a mix of anxiety and hope. The atmosphere is electric, as if everyone is collectively holding their breath, waiting to see what happens next. This runway is more than concrete and asphalt. It is a symbol of a nation refusing to be pushed around in its own backyard. Years of escalating incidents, tense standoffs, and diplomatic protests have led to this moment of defiance. Beijing's growing assertiveness, marked by the steady expansion of its naval presence and the construction of artificial islands, has brought the region to the brink. The world has watched as China's ambitions have grown bolder, challenging the sovereignty of its neighbors. China's sweeping claims over the South China Sea have long been a source of tension, with overlapping boundaries and disputed territories fueling a complex web of rivalries. For the Philippines, the stakes could not be higher. The Balabac runway is Manila's direct answer, a strategic countermove designed to protect its territory, assert its rights, and signal to both allies and adversaries that it will not back down. The world now waits, watching closely. Will this bold move deter further aggression, or will it provoke a dangerous escalation? Diplomats and military planners weigh their options, aware that the next steps could shape the future of the entire region. For now, Balabac stands as the new front line, a remote island transformed into a symbol of resistance and resolve at the heart of a contest for control and influence in the South China Sea. As the sun sets and the jet engines fade into silence, the air is thick with unspoken threats and strategic calculations. The world holds its breath, knowing that the next chapter in this unfolding drama could begin at any moment. The inauguration ceremony was a powerful display of national pride, a moment that brought together citizens, military leaders, and government officials in a unified front. The air was thick with anticipation and hope as the Philippine flag soared above the crowd, fluttering boldly in the wind. The sight of thousands waving their own flags, faces alight with determination, set the tone for what was to come, a day that would be remembered as a turning point in the nation's history. President Marcos Jr. called the project a pillar of national defense and a symbol of unyielding resolve. His words echoed across the airfield, emphasizing that this was not just an infrastructure project, but a testament to the country's commitment to sovereignty and security. He spoke of the sacrifices made by generations before, and the responsibility now shouldered by the present. This was more than a ribbon cutting. It was a declaration. The snip of the scissors marked the beginning of a new chapter, one where the Philippines would no longer be content to watch from the sidelines. The unveiling of the runway plaque was met with applause, but also with a sense of gravity. Everyone present understood the significance of this moment. The Philippines is telling the world it won't stand by while its rights are challenged. The determined faces in the crowd reflected a collective resolve, a message to both allies and adversaries that the nation is ready to defend its interests, no matter the cost. The runway marks a shift in foreign policy, from balancing powers to credible deterrence. It is a physical manifestation of a new doctrine, one that prioritizes readiness and the ability to respond swiftly to any threat. The presence of military jets and personnel on the tarmac underscored this transformation. Years of Chinese aggression forced Manila to act. Repeated incursions and rising tensions in the South China Sea have tested the patience and resolve of the Filipino people. Protests in Manila and diplomatic efforts have not been enough. Now action speaks louder than words. The Balabac Runway is now a forward operating base, enhancing defensive capabilities. Soldiers and airmen move with purpose, knowing that their presence here is a deterrent in itself. The airstrip is no longer just a piece of infrastructure, it is a shield, a warning, and a promise. It signals a new era of self-reliance and assertiveness for the armed forces. Training exercises are more frequent, and the military's leadership is focused on building a force that can stand on its own. The sunset salutes are not just ceremonial, they are a pledge to protect the nation's future. The military's focus is shifting outward, protecting maritime borders. Patrols are more vigilant, radar stations scan the horizon for any sign of encroachment, and the Navy stands ready to respond. The message is clear: the Philippines will defend its waters and its people. The runway allows rapid deployment to disputed territories, sending a clear message: the West Philippine Sea is not empty, nor is it unguarded. Every takeoff and landing is a demonstration of capability and intent, a reminder that the nation is prepared to act decisively. This project is a calculated risk, but a necessary one. Leaders and strategists know the stakes are high, but they also know that inaction is no longer an option. The men and women preparing for missions understand the gravity of their roles. They are the front line of a new era. As the sun sets, the runway casts a long shadow of defiance and renewed national purpose. The golden light bathes the airstrip, symbolizing hope and resilience. In this moment, the Philippines stands taller, ready to face whatever challenges may come, united in purpose and unwavering in resolve. To grasp the runway's significance, you need to understand Balabac's strategic value. At the southwestern tip of Palawan, Balabac sits at the crossroads of vital sea lanes. Control here means influence over a major economic corridor. Militarily, Balabac is a force multiplier, close to the disputed Spratly Islands. Now jets and patrol planes can respond to incidents in minutes, not hours. The island is transformed from a remote outpost to a strategic base. Politically, the runway reinforces the Philippines' sovereign claim and asserts its exclusive economic zone. It's a visible symbol of authority in contested waters. The base also boosts regional security, enabling joint patrols and elevating the Philippines' role in Southeast Asia. The unveiling of the Balabac runway has sent shockwaves across the globe, igniting a spectrum of reactions from world leaders, analysts, and the international public. Some nations have voiced strong condemnation, while others have expressed support or cautious optimism. The development has quickly become a trending topic in global newsrooms, with headlines dissecting its implications for regional stability and international law. Beijing's response was immediate and forceful, with officials accusing the Philippines of escalating tensions and militarizing a sensitive region. Chinese authorities warned that such actions could destabilize the delicate balance in the South China Sea, and called for restraint from all parties involved. Chinese state media amplified these concerns, framing the runway as part of a broader US-led strategy to contain China's rise. Commentators described the move as a provocation, orchestrated by Washington to challenge Beijing's claims and influence in the area. In stark contrast, Washington reaffirmed its unwavering commitment to the US-Philippines alliance. American officials highlighted the importance of supporting Manila through technical expertise, military training, and financial assistance, emphasizing shared interests in maintaining peace and stability. For the United States, a stronger and more capable Philippines is seen as a crucial counterweight to growing Chinese influence in the Indo-Pacific. The runway is viewed as a strategic asset, enhancing both countries' ability to respond to regional threats and safeguard vital sea lanes. Meanwhile, regional players like Vietnam and Malaysia are watching developments closely. While their official statements remain measured, there is a sense of quiet relief among some Southeast Asian capitals, as Manila's assertive stance may help deter further encroachments in disputed waters. The Association of Southeast Asian Nations, or ASEAN, has called for renewed dialogue and peaceful resolution of disputes. Yet the bloc finds itself caught between the need to address security concerns and the reality of deep economic ties with China. Beyond the region, countries like Europe, Japan, and Australia have voiced their support for the Philippines' right to defend its territory and uphold international law. Their diplomats have reiterated calls for freedom of navigation and respect for sovereign rights. The Balabac runway now stands as a powerful symbol, a litmus test for the international community's resolve to uphold sovereignty, freedom of navigation, and the rules-based order in one of the world's most contested maritime regions. As debates intensify and alliances are tested, Balabac has emerged as a new focal point in the ever-evolving landscape of global geopolitics, drawing the world's attention to the future of the South China Sea. The Balabac runway is more than a military asset, it's a lifeline for disaster response. The Philippines, disaster-prone and often isolated, now has rapid access to aid. In a typhoon, C-130S can land directly, delivering relief within hours. This saves lives and speeds recovery for vulnerable communities. The runway builds trust between the military and locals, showing the armed forces protect and serve. It's a symbol of safety, not just conflict. The base can also support international relief efforts, enhancing the Philippines' regional standing. Balabac's dual-use design embodies a holistic approach to security. It deters aggression and delivers aid, two sides of the same coin. The runway is a double-edged sword, sharp for defense and compassionate for relief. The Balabac runway stands as a symbol of the revitalized U.S.-Philippine alliance. Built under the Enhanced Defense Cooperation Agreement, it's more than infrastructure. It's joint training, intelligence sharing, and strategic planning. Exercises like Balakatan now have a new hub, deepening military interoperability. For the U.S., investing in Balabac strengthens regional deterrence without permanent bases. The partnership empowers the Philippines to lead in its own defense. This sends a clear message. U.S. commitment is tangible and strategic. The runway is a Philippine base built with U.S. support, respecting sovereignty while strengthening the alliance. Regional partners are reassured, adversaries are put on notice. Balabac is now a foundation for collective defense in the Indo-Pacific. For years, Filipino fishermen have faced harassment and aggression in the West Philippine Sea. The Balabac runway offers new hope, providing a protective umbrella over vital fishing grounds. Maritime patrols from Balabac mean faster response to threats and distress calls. Enhanced surveillance deters foreign militias and combats illegal fishing. The base empowers fishermen to reclaim their livelihoods with confidence. It's a statement: the Philippines will defend its people and resources. The roar of friendly aircraft is now the sound of security. Fishermen are no longer alone on contested waters. Beyond strategy, the runway is transforming Balabac's economy and society. Once isolated, the island now sees jobs, new businesses, and improved services. The base's construction and operation have created a local economy beyond fishing and farming. Flights replace treacherous boat journeys, improving access to healthcare and education. Essential professionals are more willing to serve in Balabac. The runway bridges the island to the rest of the country. Strategic investment is driving inclusive growth and optimism. For Balabac, the runway marks a new dawn, both on the map and in opportunity. As the sun sets, the Balabac runway stands as a testament to the Philippines' enduring spirit and sovereignty. It's a symbol of national pride and a foundation for peace through strength. Deterrence here aims to prevent conflict, not provoke it. The project signals a new era of self-reliance and military modernization. While Allied support is vital, the runway is fundamentally Filipino, defending Filipino people. Looking out from Balabac, the future is one of confidence and stability. The runway's legacy will be measured in the peace it helps secure. It's a bold investment in a more secure and prosperous Southeast Asia.